stream, just a chill stream. Setting up the rest of these, well, basically showing off the deck lists for the rest of this series. For this series coming up. But I have got them all complete. There's just a couple cards that need crafted. But that's until January, so we don't really have to worry about that too much right now. I will show off just like little things here. This isn't going to be a long stream at all. This is the Yamabikura deck list. I showed it to you last stream. It is not tweaked in any way. I pretty much set it up the way that I had it before. The Kaiba deck, that is... And then, of course, I got to customize these as well, so... and this is the... the deck for Kaiba. They just took out that. He has 2 Petons. I was thinking about throwing in a third, but I think just 2 is okay. And then, of course, he has the Sagi. He has the 3 Lajin. He has the 3 Blue Eyes, the Ancient Lamps. I also gave him Glacier Aquamador just to up the normal monsters and stuff like that. And, yeah. And, of course, I gave him Ultimate Fusion just to have an extra fusion to get out the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon here. But yeah, that is Kaiba's deck for the tournament. And now we're going to get into some ones that we haven't gotten into yet. Starting with Weevil freaking Underwood, which all I need to craft is Cocoon of Ultra Evolution. He has, of course, the Petite Moss, the Basic Insect, his Big Insect, the 2 Killer Needles, 1 Goki Polar, 2 Flying Kamakiri number 2s. He has Hercules Beetle. He has 3 Goki Pole. Like I did say, I was going to give him just to up his deck a little more to make it more balanced. Howling Insect. He doesn't have a Searcher. A lot of these decks need a Searcher. This is his Searcher. 4-star Ladybug of Doom. 3 Cocoon of Evolutions, a Larvae Moth, a Great Moth, a Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth. For some reason, is an SR in this game, but that's besides the point. And then everyone gets a Regeki, or some form of Board Wipe, and Monster Reborn. Multiplication of Ants, Terraforming to get his field spells, the equip spells, of course, Corrosive Scales, and I also gave him Layer Wire as well, just a card to help his insect deck, and then, of course, Giant Ballpark. And then Cocoon of Ultra Evolution. Cocoon of Ultra Evolution is just a way so he can get out his Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth a lot easier, because it's not that easy to get out. Just letting you know now, it's not easy to get out at all. So the Dual Ghoul, let's change some stuff for him here. Okay, and he needs some dark sleeves here. And this, of course, we'll just go straight up with him then. Alright, perfect. And I think I showed off his deck prior as well. I'm not entirely certain. Yeah, his deck is literally just the deck that in the Yugi, or not the Yugioh, the Kaiba structure deck, the very first structure deck. So you have all 3 Blue Eyes. He has the Hanes, he has the Giant Germs, he has the Wicked Worm Beast, he has the Trap Master, he has the Mysterious Puppeteer, and he also has the Lord of D, plus he also has 2 Ancient Rules, a Flute of Summoning Dragon to get them out, and also he has Smashing Ground, Burst of Stream of Destruction, Dark Hole, 2 Trap Hole, Justy Break, just threw that in there, and Final Attack Orders as well, just as a card to help buff the deck just a little bit, because this deck is not great. But yeah, then I think Weevil is fine. Mai is the one that we are going to show off next, because Mai is pretty interesting. Her deck is just like, instead of using the pieces for her fusions, I just gave her instant fusion to a way to get out one of them. But yeah, it was just a way to really get out her one fusion, because fusions are stupid in this game. Well, early. She does have the Faith Bird. I gave her that, a Blue Wing Crown. She does use Monstrous Bird just as a extra card to just throw in. Bird Face, obviously, it's the Searcher. Cyber Harpy Lady just made the most sense. Cyber Harpy Lady made the most sense, and I also gave her this. You'll see later there's another person who has Aqua Spirit, and there's a couple other people who have just like other cards that just help. Just you can banish one and bring them out, and it works as an order card along with Tornado Bird. Harpy Lady 1 and Harpy Lady 2 are in here. Triple Harpy Lady Sisters, and then 2 Harpy's Pet Dragon. And then the Triangle Ecstasy Spark, Terraforming, Monster Reborn, the only person who is allowed Harpies, Feather Duster. The Raigeki, obviously, Triple Elegant Egotist, Cyber Shield, Mountain, Rising Air Current, Triple Shadow of Eyes, and 2 Mirror Wall. And that is my Valentine's deck list. And we are going to change some stuff for her. Let's give her a white deck box. Let's give her the wind sleeves. This kind of fits her perfectly, actually. Okay, so Mai gets that. Weevil, we need to change your accessories here. We'll change it to that. The protectors, we'll give you... What do I want to give you? Hey, DJ, what's up? It does. It really does. But we're just chilling out, basically finishing out the decks for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Big tournament that we're doing here. The anime tournament. But both these are in here. Oh, by the way, I did discuss with some people. You guys commented on maybe they should just use cards that they used in that anime. So here's the problem with that. And if they did that, there'd be decks that'd be way too powerful. The only decks that would be good is Pegasus, Kaiba, and Yugi. That's it. And Yugi would be overpowered as shite, and I'm going to tell you, you're going to see why. Because, dear God, is he way too overpowered. Yeah, it is beyond crazy how overpowered Yugi's deck is. So I kind of had to do that to make it a little less crazy, if that makes sense. Let's go ahead with this. That's good enough. Okay, Pegasus's deck. Are you? So here's the one that I need a lot of cards for. As you can see, the good part is I'm just making these decks to show off for you guys. Hey, look, bots. Remove. And report. Yes. Oh, wow, who would have thought? We're gonna report all of you. It's my waste time game. I have nothing new yet. See, I don't either. I've just been playing this, and I've been playing Madden 23. And then I've also been playing Doom Eternal, which I gotta finish the Part 2 of the Ancient Gods DLC. But how hard just on easy the Ancient Gods Part 1 DLC was. I don't think I want to do that. I'm gonna take out Toon Bookmark. And yeah, Yeah. So, this is... Does this count as Thousand Eyes Idol? Its name does become Thousand Eyes Idol. Okay, so that is good enough to at least use. So, yeah, this is Pegasus's deck. He does have the Dark Rabbit. He has to have the Dark Rabbit and the Parrot Dragon. I gave him the upgraded versions of his Thousand Eyes Idol because it's not great. It's just a 0/0 normal monster and be terrible in this deck. So I gave them that. And then I also gave him the Dark Eyes Illusionist because it does have a flip effect, just at least one. Jigen Bakudan, he has to have that. 3 Millennium Eyes Illusionists, so he can, like, use that for his Thousand Eyes Restrict to help. 3 Toon Mermaid. I was allowing him to use the older cards, the older Toon cards. So he could use Toon Gemini Elf, Toon Masked Sorcerer, Manga Rioran, Toon Blue Eyes, and Toon Summon Skull. And then I was allowing him 1 Illusionist Faceless Mage. Hoping to get a PS5 around tax time. See, that's me. That's me. I wanna play that too. My dad has a PS5, and he's started to play Gotham Knights. And watching him play is like watching a child try and play a game for the first time. And of course he gets Mimicat. So Mimicat's a newer card, but he used it in the anime, so this is allowed. And then of course he's allowed to have Monster Reborn. He does not have a board wipe, but that's fine. His deck is kind of overpowered as is. Then 3 Toon Table of Contents, of course. The Comic Hand, he used it in the anime. When he took control of a monster, the Comic Hand did come out and grab him. And then 3 Toon... well, obviously, I think we need probably 3 Black Illusion Rituals. Yeah, because we're playing 3 Relinquished. You need 3 of these. And then 3 Toon World... 3 Toon World, 3 Relinquished Fusions. That's basically the fusion spell. He only uses the fusion spell for it. And then the Toon Page Flip, which is a thing that did happen in the anime, because if you remember, the page turned and it changed to a different thing in the anime. But, and then of course he is allowed Toon Briefcase. It's the only way for him to, like, he doesn't have a board wipe, so this is the one way for him to, like, stop the opponent from doing that. And he's one of those people, he has the most cards in his deck, so, yeah. So Pegasus, that's Pegasus's deck. I am very proud with, like, how much, like, I didn't really have to worry too much. Pegasus, or not Pegasus, this is Bones. So Bones... we'll give him all the zombie stuff I have. Alright, Field Centers. Let's give him this. Obviously we gotta give him that. No. Alright. You guys will see his deck. But this is Bones' deck. So, Bones' deck consists of course, all his 3 big ones. So, the Zombie Clown, the Armored Zombie, and the Dragon Zombie, all allowed at 3. Snake Hair is kind of a card he's used before, so he is allowed to have it, and it's a card from the old Duelist, like the Duelist Kingdom era cards packs. Magical Ghost, same thing. I gave him Nightmare Horse, because it is a zombie, and it's a way for him to get the fusion with his... which he does not have Poly. Should probably give him Poly. And then he also has the Spirit Reaper. Poison Mummy is just another zombie. It was just the last card. We can actually take that out. Yeah, we can take that out. And Regenerating Mummy. And... Giant Axe. And give him 3 Polys. Yeah. There we go. Okay, that's a lot better. So, yeah, he has the Book of Lives. Of course, that's just way to help him, really, because The only board wipe he has is Regeki. So, and he doesn't play Monster Reborn. He plays... You know what? He needs Call of the Haunted. Why did I not give him Call of the Haunted? I'm an idiot. Oh, wow. Well then, we'll just do this. My bad, guys. I screwed up. But that is fine. Where's Call the Haunted? He needs all 3 copies that I have. Completely forgot about giving him that. It's his most important card, and I forgot to give it to him. Okay. So, of course he has his Call the Haunted. I gave him Haunted Shrine, because in Duel Links, and in Speed Duel, he has this card in there. So, and really that's just a retrain of the old anime, so like the anime, so he's allowed to have that. Violet Crystal is just a way for him to buff his, basically his deck is buffing his zombies as high as possible, because of course they're all terrible, and getting out the Pumpkin as quickly as possible as well, which is, I mean, pretty much all he has, so he doesn't really have a lot of options in his deck. Moving on to the American Bandit Keith. Bandit Keith is next. So, with Bandit Keith, I will say his deck is very interesting. It is, he does have some support cards, I will tell you, that you would think he wouldn't normally have. But yeah, you will like his deck. I think a lot of people are going to like his deck. So, let's go in, and I will show you this. So I did find out he did use... So as you can see, there is some cards I still need to get to finish this deck out. Also, DJ, while you're here, is there certain characters you would like to play? Because you would have to go off these deck lists to create. Which isn't too hard for new people that are playing Master Duel to create. I've already Yami Bakura, so I will, and I'll probably do one more. Most likely it'll be Bandit Keith, so they're my 2 favorite characters. But if some, I'll wait and see if some of my friends want them. But Bandit Keith's deck, they're all cards he did use in the anime or cards that support. So he plays triple Cyber Soldier of Dark World, the Oni Tank, the Overdrive, 3 Robotic Knights, Megasonic Eye. If you guys remember, he played Megasonic Eye in the anime, along with Pendulum Machine, Launcher Spider, Zoa, and Slot Machine, and Blastsphere. So Blastsphere is his way to out a lot of stuff that's unbeatable. Blowback Dragon, he has to have Blowback Dragon. That's just a thing he needs, I feel. Then, of course, his Barrel Dragon. The Metal Zoa, and I gave him 1 Desperado Barrel Dragon. 1 Desperado Barrel Dragon. Of course, he gets Regeki, he gets the Terraforming. He gets triple 7 completed. And he gets Mausoleum of the Emperor just to support his deck, because he has a lot of tribute monsters, and it's going to be very difficult for him to get them out. And then I'm allowing him 1 Heavy Metal Raiders for his dark attribute like machines, which it supports him, it protects, it gives him protection. I may take it out, I don't know, but I feel like this is the best card for them to have. If you had to choose, it'd be Joey Warrior Deck, and Rex Raptor. So you would like Joey and Rex? Because I can give you Joey and Rex, DJ. I haven't even showed you their deck. Their decks are very interesting. I will say that. Rex's, specifically, Rex has a very nice deck as well. And of course, I gave him triple Time Machine, triple Metal Morph. It's his card, so he has to have Metal Morph. And I also gave him Rare Metal Morph, and then Proton Blast to basically support the coin flip mechanics for his Desperado Blaster, or his Desperado, his Blowback, and his Barrel Dragon. But yeah, that is Bandit Keith. Next, we just talked about him. Gotta go with the hero deck. Well, we aren't at GX yet, my guy, but right now we are at Duelist Kingdom, so... But... Oh, and by the way, before I get into this deck, why is Black Skull Dragon a UR? Why? Why? Just why? Just wondering about that, by the way. Anyway, Joey Wheeler's deck. Joey Wheeler, in this series, and Duelist Kingdom especially, did not have the greatest deck. Because Flame Swordsman was a fusion monster, stuff like that, so I helped him a little bit with it. And, DJ, you're gonna like this. Of course he gets... Yeah, because Black Skull's fantastic. Yes, but he's a normal monster. Why is he a UR? That's what I don't understand. I understand Red Eyes, okay? But Summon Skull is an SR. That makes no sense either. So he gets triple Baby Dragon. If he gets triple Baby Dragon, he gets triple Time Wizard. Those are his iconic cards. He needs those. Then he gets the Tiger Axe. He used that a lot in the Yu-Gi-Oh anime. He gets triple Axe Raider. Axe Raider is his best beater. He deserves it. And then he also gets Garuzzi's. Garuzzi's, I've tried not to fill up his deck with a lot of tribute monsters, because if you're not playing in Duelist Kingdom format where you could just summon anything. So, that doesn't exist in this. And then he also gets the Swamp and Lava Battle Guard, because in the anime and episode, he had both of them out. And those were an iconic deck in his Duelist Kingdom deck. And he also gets the Summon Skull and the Red Eye, so he can do some shenanigans with that, which you see with the Black Skull. And he gets triple Copycat. And we already talked about the Time Wizard, but he gets this. The Blue Flame Swordsman, which you can't play Flame Swordsman, so there's another way he can get out Flame Swordsman that I have in here as well that's not just this. But it's a way he can actually still play his Flame Swordsman in the main. And then I also gave him this, which is Guiltia, the D-Knight Soul Spear. If you control no monsters, you can special summon this thing without tributing. And if he's normal summoned, you can banish one monster your opponent controls equal to or higher level attack than this card, then discard a card, add one of the following. So not only is it an add of a Dark Machine, a level 5 Water Warrior, or a Dark Dragon, so 9 times out of 10 you're going to add the Red Eyes off this. But it's a way to get his other stuff. So, and then of course he does get the Red Eyes Black Metal Dragon, because Metal Morph's in here. So he has Sword and Shield. Obviously he needs Sword and Shield. Triple Polymerization for his 1000 Dragon. The Monster Reborn. Everyone gets Monster Reborn. I gave him Rhoda so he can search any of his warriors that he has in the deck. So typically Axe Raider and Blue Flame Swordsman. And then he has Grave Robber. Yeah, it is very cool, because I was like looking and I was like, I thought Flame Swordsman had a retrain for a normal monster, and then I saw this, I was like, that must have been what it was for. And then Grave Robber, and he did use this card called Trap Hole of Spikes. He gets basic Trap Hole. I give him Time Machine. He used it against Bandit Keith. He used it against him with his Grave Robber. And then I gave him Kunai with Chain. So, actually, on second thought, let's take this out and give him another Kunai with Chain. Because he didn't technically use it. He used Grave Robber. And the cards that I gave him that help buff the deck is instant fusion to get him Flame Swordsman quicker, and Red Eyes fusion. It is broken if you use it with Dragoon, but this is a way to just get out Red Eyes Black Skull Dragon. So, and it's a way, he doesn't have to hard do it. He can use this, and he can just fusion summon him from deck. And yeah, that is Joey's deck. And we have to do some accessories for good old Joey. I think Joey likes that red deck, so we'll keep him with the red. Yeah, we'll give him the blue, why not? And then let's give him the fire. It just suits him. It just suits him, you know. We'll give him Mount Sword Soul, and we'll give you Mount Sword Soul stuff. Yeah, we'll just give him the Mount Sword Soul stuff. Yeah, very nice. So that would be the deck list that you would go off, DJ, if you want Joey. Which is very easy to craft. I would feel it would be very easy to craft. So next, we're going on one of, if not the worst character in this tournament. I tried to make his deck as good as possible. Trust me, I did. But this is Panic. If you guys remember Panic, he was the Duel Eliminator or whatever he was in the anime, and he was in one duel and lost to good old Yugi. So I tried to up his deck just a tad, and this is the best I could come up with. He gets the pieces for his fusion, which he has to have, in Ryukushin and Frenzied Panda, triple King of Yami Makai, Dark Chimera, which I have ancient rules for it, and then the Castle of Dark Illusions, which does nothing, and then double Reaper of the cards. He has Darkhold, Fisher, triple Poly for the Barracks, Monster Reborn, like, that's the only good card in his deck. Terraforming, Instant Fusion for the Barracks. Axe of Despair is that's the only other good card in his deck, because at least then if he has King of Yami Makai, he can attach to it and get it higher. And Black Pendants, and then he did use these horns in the anime, by the way, so he is allowed to use that, and it's just something to help him, because dear God, he needs it. But if anyone wants Panic, I'll be very, very shocked. I will be shocked. Moving on to Kaiba's little brother, Mokuba. Mokuba plays a kind of... It's a mix between Kaiba's, like his brother's deck, somewhat, with some dragons and, like, normal monsters, and it's like a plant reptile sort of deck. So I went off of that and built this, which he has Manating Plant, Dark World Thorns, which he did use in the anime, Anthorosaurus, Hitatsumi Giant, both him and his brother have it. It just makes sense. Battle Ox, both of them have it. It should make sense. Armored Lizard, both of them have it. Makes sense. You guys see the pattern here. Black Dragon's Jungle King, Oceani, Luster Dragon. I gave him Luster Dragon to just give him a good beater. Ancient Lizard, Warrior Lesser Dragon, Grappler, 2 Grapplers, and Crocodilus, which is actually technically his ace. Technically. If you look at, like, a lot of video games and stuff like that, this is his ace. And he gets Mikasa Yaiba, and if his brother gets Blue Eyes, he should get another Legend of Blue Eyes card. Yeah, you only saw him duel once, and he did use some of these cards. So he, like, used Dark World Thorns, he used Itatsumi Giant, he used the Battle Ox, he used Armored Lizard, and I think he brought out the Trihorn Dragon as well, but his best monster was the Hane, if I'm thinking correctly. And just to, just as a boss monster for him, I gave him Trihorn Dragon. Also, his best cards are, I gave him Twin-Headed Behemoth, just as a way to help protect him, because, dear God, his deck sucks. And then I gave him Hadehane. And then he gets Darkhole, Raigeki, and Monster Reborn, and then triple Heart of the Underdog, because his whole deck, 95% of his monsters. 2 Trap Holes, 1 Bottomless, 2 Threatening Roar to help, and 1 Trap Hole of Spikes. Okay, next. This is the other guy I was telling you about, DJ. If you want Rex Raptor as well, you'll be very intrigued with what I did for good old Rex freaking Raptor. But first, let's give him some accessories here. So, let's see. Something about this red one just speaks to me, you know. And let's give him fire, because it just screams fire. Like, we'll give him the Realm of Danger field. That's another thing that just screams Rex Raptor. Okay, Rex Raptor's deck. All I need is the red eyes for this deck. So, he does... I was trying to see some normal dinosaurs to throw in. This was the only thing that I could really throw in that he hasn't used. Along with the Crawling Dragon. He was like, what, 7, maybe 8? He was, what, 7, maybe 8? And I had a crappy brother that was obsessed with another guy. So, yeah. That sounds very weird. Yeah. That was before Mokuba lost his soul to the Shadow Realm, right? Yeah. So, of course, if we're playing Rex, he needs his 2-headed King Rex, right? So he gets triple 2-headed King Rex, and he gets the second best normal dinosaur that's summonable easily in Urabi. And then I also gave him Crawling Dragon number 2, and he also gets Gillosaurus, just because it's an older card, and it just helps with the dinosaurs. And he also gets Sword Armor Dragon and Megazowler. Those are his basic cards he's used in the anime. I gave him 1 Red Eyes because technically he had a Red Eyes in the one duel that he did, along with his ace monster, the Serpent Knight Dragon. So, that is basically his monsters for his spells. He has Raigeki, obviously, and Monster Reborn. Everyone gets that. He gets Fisher. Triple polymerization for his Brachyradius, because his Brachyradius takes Crawling Dragon number 2 and 2-headed King Rex, which he has the pieces for. Terraforming to get his field spell in the Wasteland. And then I gave him Big Evolution Pill, which basically lets him summon cheat out his Megazowler, or his Sword Arm Dragon, basically. In 3 turns if he really wants to, and then he gets to raise body heat, and I just gave him a bunch of battle traps. So he has Rush Recklessly, he has the Trap Holes, he has Threatening Roar, he has Hunting Instincts, which is for dinosaurs, he has Survival of the Fittest, which is a boost by 1,000 for his dinosaurs, and I believe it also lets him attack 2 times. And then he gets Survival's End, which is destroys as many normal monsters in the field as possible. If you do, special summon level 4 lower dinosaur monsters from your deck up to the number destroyed, but destroy them during the end phase. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 dinosaur you control, 1 card your opponent controls, destroy them both. Yeah, that is where he got Red Eyes, because they made a bet that if he lost, he would give him his Red Eyes, and if he won, he would give him all his Star Chips, plus he would take his Time Wizard. Just call me Rex. Okay, so Rex is yours, and then of course you get Brachyradius. So Joey and Rex is going to be our good friend Realmaster DJ. So thank you, DJ, for that. So that I can probably, once the tournament starts and everything, I can take these deck lists off my... Because as you can see, I'm full with all these deck lists now that I had to fill these all up. So next we have Taya Gardner. Taya Gardner. She also played in just one duel in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist Kingdom anime. But it was a quite entertaining duel. I'll say that. It wasn't fantastic, but yeah, I feel like it's going to be quite interesting. Woo! Thank you for that. I needed that. But Taya Gardner's deck, okay? Taya Gardner's deck is... I really wanted to give her better stuff. I really did. But the only newer stuff I gave her, you'll see. So she has the Happy Lover. She used that in the anime. I gave her Mystic Elf, because for some reason in that duel against Mai, she used it. She has Spirit of the Harp, 3 Ancient Elf. I was trying to look for the Fairy's Gift that she had. Apparently it's not in the game. Don't know why. And then she has her Shining Friendship, which is her ace monster. And then triple Magician of Faith, which was her in the duel with Yami Bakura. And then Mahavilo. And the reason why is because Mahavilo is her boss. Because there is a bunch of equip spells in here. So, she has Regeki, Swords Revealing Light. Just because her connection with Yugi, I would say she'd allow to use it. Fisher, Monster Reborn, Smashing Ground, 2 Black Pendants, 2 Silver Bows for her Shining Friendship. She is the usually fairest princess of the crush on the Pharaoh. Yeah, she is. And then the 2 cards I gave her that basically boosts her deck is on United We Stand and Mage Power. So those are the 2 that she got with that. And then I give her Cestus to Dagla, and then the 2 wands to support her spellcasters, which are Bound Wand and One Shot Wand, just to help support that. And she gets to draw a card if it gets destroyed, and this lets you special summon a monster. And then she has triple Wabaku and triple Enchanted Javelin. So her deck was not great from what I looked up first, because she didn't have Mahavilo. So when I gave her Mahavilo, it just boosted the deck exponentially. She also didn't have United We Stand. She did have Mage Power, though. So that boosted her deck exponentially. But the man of the hour, ladies and gentlemen. The man of the freaking hour. Yami Yugi. The Pharaoh and little Yugi together. This is going to be interesting. I'm telling you. These guys are the king of games for a reason. And you guys will see their, abilities here, because their deck just has everything that they've ever had in all of Duelist Kingdom, and dear God, is it's going to be a tough time to face this deck. I'm just warning you now, because, yeah, whoever gets Yami Yugi is gonna be a absolute problem, and here's why. So, I went through this deck list, and I thought, what can I add? What can I put in this deck to really just, first of all, not make it annoying. But yeah, I went above and beyond. A little bit. I could have went full bore and gave him all the retrains he's had, with the retrain for Gaia, the Dragon Champion, and all that. But basically what I did was I upped his basic monsters are in here, but I upped his basic stuff. So, or his stuff that wasn't great, like Gaia and Curse of Dragon. So he kind of has like a small Gaia, the Dragon Champion engine. So he has the Giant Soldier Stone, he has Mystic Elf, he has a Pharaoh Imp. I was going to put Horn Imp in here, but I think Pharaoh Imp was just made more sense because he could do that combo with the Horn of the Unicorn. Summon Skull, 2 Dark Magicians. I was going to give him 3, but I don't think he deserves 3, honestly. Triple Karibo, 2 Obnoxious Celtic Guardian. I wanted to give him a basic Celtic Guardian, but this is just a retrain of the regular Celtic Guardian, so it's fine. And then we got all the Magicians, and then we got all the skilled Magicians. So, he needs his Buster Blader. That reminds me. Actually, he did not use the Buster Blader, so we will give him a second. He used the Buster Blader in Duel or in Battle City, if I'm thinking correctly. Yeah, he used Buster Blader in Battle City. So basically, this is stuff to help support his and get his Dark Magician out easier. With the 2 skilled Dark Magician, the 1 skilled Blue Magician for the Gaia, and he also gets the Artillery Catapult Cannon, so he can search and tribute a monster and get either or. Curse of Dragon, which this is just a retrain of Curse of Dragon. The Arisen Gaia, which if your opponent controls more, you can summon him without tributing. And you can special summon 1 Blackluster Soldier monster from your hand or graveyard. So, I was thinking, what monster can I use? I was thinking the just basic ritual monster, stuff like that. But then I was like, he needs a bomb. And Envoy of the Beginning kinda does it, because I looked at his deck, and it's actually tougher to bring out than one you might think, because with me taking out that White Magician, he only has 1, 2... He has 3 light, or he has 2 lights in his deck. 2. He requires banishing 1 light, 1 dark. He doesn't have tons of darks, but he has no lights. So, that's the problem. He doesn't have a lot of lights in this deck. So, I was thinking maybe throwing in another, Mystical Elf, maybe. Let's do that. Then he has at least 3 targets. And he also gets the Dark Magician of Chaos. I was going to we have the ritual. So he has that as well. So he has the basic one, and then he has the one he used at the end of Duel's Kingdom. Here's where it gets crazy, because he has all the best stuff. He has Raigeki, Swords, Monster Reborn. I also allowed him to have, he can have 1 of each. So he has the Thousand Knives and the Dark Magic Attack. He has Spiral Fusion, so he doesn't have to clog up his hand with, like a bunch of polys. So he just has the Spiral Fusion to get out Gaia, the Dragon Champion. Horn of the Unicorn. Magic Formula for the Dark Magician, Black Magic Ritual for the Magician of Black Chaos, Multiply for the Karibo, Detonate for the Karibo, Dedication through Light and Darkness for the Dark Magician and turning it into the Dark Magician of Chaos. And then Illusion Magic, which gets a tribute a spellcaster, add 2 copies. So, he can tribute any of these spellcasters that he has, and then just add the 2 to his hand. Chaos Scepter Blast is a card for the Dark Magician of Chaos, so he can use that. Or Dark Magician of Black Chaos. 2 Trap Holes, and then, of course, his mains in Magic Cylinder. I did have Magic Cylinders. That's too toxic. Magic Cylinder, Magical Hats, and Mirror Force. And that is the deck of Yami Yugi. So, yeah, Yami Yugi is there. And we're getting close to, like, showing you the last couple here. So, what do I want to show you next? I guess we'll show you the Paradox Brothers. And I did show you the Paradox Brothers previously, but this is, I think they're different just a tad. Just a tad, I believe. Yeah, I think we showed them in the previous one, but yeah. See, all I need is the Cannon Soldier. So that's fantastic. So, 3 Gigatech Wolf, 3 Cannon Soldier for the fusion, obviously. He gets the Guardian of the Labyrinth, he gets the Labyrinth Wall, he gets 2 Dungeon Worms, 3 Jirai Gumo, 2 Monster Tamer, 3 Shadow Ghoul, and 3 Wall Shadow. Basically, he plays the Wall Shadow strat. He gets the fusions, obviously. He gets the Poly, he gets the Regeki, he gets the Monster Reborn, he gets Monster Gate, which both of them have. Magical Labyrinth, Call of the Grave, which I gave him Call of the Grave that if someone uses Monster Reborn, he can negate it. So that's the one thing that helps him a little bit. Labyrinth of Nightmare, and Windstorm of Etaqua. So I gave him that because that just made sense for Paradox. And then Labyrinth of Nightmare, it's a Labyrinth card. So why not, right? Then we have the other brother. Actually, we're going to give him the same deck, like, pattern, but we're just going to give him the wind. And we will give him this. I just feel like the Gear Town just sits perfectly for him. I don't know why, it just fits perfectly for Paradox. Okay, so we got Para. So Para plays all the Gate Guardian pieces. And his deck was much easier to make than Dox's. They both share this. I gave him an Electric Snake, because for some reason they used it. I don't know why. Jirai Gumo, Arsenal Summoner, like I said in the previous one, to get, I believe to get any of these pieces. I'm almost pretty sure, you could get any of the pieces with it. Sangha, Kazijin, and Suijin. And then, of course, the Gate Guardian. The only way to help him, I gave him Mausoleum, and I gave him Soul Exchange to get him out, and Monster Gate, of course. The one card that was added is Paralyzing Potion. So that is the one card that was added as well. Then, the last two. We got Grandpa, a.k.a. Solomon Moto. And Solomon Moto has quite the interesting deck, which I'm sure you guys know what he's playing, but I'm going to show you. No, I don't want that. Okay, so obviously he's playing the pieces of Exodia. So, since he's playing the pieces of Exodia, how, with no Pot of Greed, no Grace of Charity allowed at this point, what can he do to help support this deck? So that's what we did. We gave him a bunch of normal monsters, and this abomination you see here today. Yeah. I gave, other than the only cards that I gave him, he has the Heart of the Underdog to help him, and the Triple Kuribo to stop him, and Threatening Roar, and Justy Break, and Obliterate, which I gave him that to help his deck because he has no big boss monsters, he has no beaters. His highest attack point monster is Gaia and Mr. Volcano. That's it. That's not that great. So that's Grandpa, and the last deck Which this is easy because this was the easiest deck to put together. Well, I say that. This is Mako Tsunami. So Mako Tsunami with his deck, I had to make some decisions because he had all those Yumi upgrades. And I was like, I don't want to make his deck overpowered. And the Kaioshin new monster that came out recently is very unfair, and we're not having floodgates in this deck. Like, except for Yami Bakura. Yami Bakura, that's his deck. And just, like, controlling. But I was like, what do I do with this deck, and not make it overpowered to the point where, like, you can't play because Kaioshin basically says you can only have one non-water. And it was just absolutely... It would just be unfair. And we don't want that here. We don't want that here. So I thought, well, what can I do to really make this better? Which, let's actually give him another electric jellyfish. And I gave him everything except for the Kaioshin. So he has the 3 Great White. He did use that in this duel. He used the Fiend Kraken and the Jellyfish, so he has all those. And if he has those, he has to have his boss Kaioshin, right? So he has that. The Takaroma, he has this as well. The Octobuser. His big beater is Gogiga Gaga Gigo. And he has the Yomi ship as a way to pop. And I gave him the Doom Kraken and the Electric Jellyfish to boost up his deck just a little bit. I wasn't giving him Fish Sonar, and I was not giving him Kaioshin. That'd be too unfair. And I gave him the Amphibious Bogroth M Mark III, because, yes, this is a card that came out a little later, but I feel like it's Yumi support. He can use this. It is not big of a deal. It isn't that strong. And then, if you remember, Garuda is in the my deck, so I thought, let's put Aqua Spirit in this deck. It gives a way that he can, like, change battle positions of stuff, and they can't change the battle position of the monsters. And then, of course, he needs a Searcher, so we gave him Mother Grizzly. And he also has this card, which he plays in Speed Duels, his Speed Duel deck. And his other deck, it has this in it. So he is allowed to play this as well. It is Spell and Trap card removal. Then he has Regeki and Monster Reborn and Terraforming and Instant Fusion to get either one of his 4 fusions. Steel Shell for any of his water monsters. For any of his aquas, he has the power of Kaishin, I believe his name is. Yeah, Kaishin. He has 3 of the trap Kaioshin's Dark Reef. 2 Torrential Tribute, which I didn't want him to have at first, but I found out he actually uses this. So, yeah. He actually used that in the anime. So, and then I also gave him Water Hazard to, like, if he doesn't have a monster, he can special summon a level 4 lower monster from his hand. So, it's just a card to help him. And then, of course, he needs Umi, and I gave him Umaraka, which is Umi, but different. So, but yeah, that was the deck list, ladies and gentlemen. This was a short stream. I didn't want to go over too much and because I got to get ready for work soon, and I still got to eat lunch and everything. So, but yeah, if you all did enjoy this and you are excited for this series coming, let me know in the comments down below. Also, the characters taken so far are Yami Bakura by me. And the 2 characters taken by DJ is Rex Raptor and Joey. So if you don't know what you want in this and you don't know the deck lists, go to this video and look at the deck lists and basically copy the deck lists. If there are some cards that you feel would work better in it, DM me, comment on this video, let me know what you think. I'll let you know if I think we should or not, and we'll go from there. But Basically, I just have Yami Bakura. If someone else takes Bandit Keith, someone takes it Bandit Keith. I'm completely fine with it. So, anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for stopping by on the stream, everybody who did. And as always, stay awesome, my Dark Knights.